These are some of the things that I have found important through this process. First, in lessons on love. 1. Real love doesn't have to hurt, so the idea that love is pain, so not true. 2. Know the difference between love, infatuation, and lust. 3. Don't lose yourself in a relationship. And be independent first, because when you are not independent you lose the balance of control. 4. Don't allow love to blind you. Sometimes when you're in love you miss the signs that something is wrong. And sometimes when you are in love you are the only one that's in love. Meaning no one is loving you back. And lastly, how can I truly love someone else when I don't even love myself? I used to hear this all the time. And I would think this is so not true. I love my mom, sister, grandparents, aunt and uncle, and friends. But I don't love myself, so this cannot be true. But I learned that when I started to love myself more and more, that it showed through my behavior with my loved ones. And it only made the love for them grow. Now, lessons on betrayal. What I learned the most was, you shouldn't allow that betrayal to take over your life, or let your ego hurt you. For me, one of the reasons I didn't leave was the feelings of embarrassment, and that embarrassment came from my ego. I kept thinking people were going to say, "I told you so," and people did say that, but I had to realize that everyone has an opinion about everything. And I don't need to justify my life by what others may be saying or thinking, because opinions are like the cracks, everybody's got one. In lessons on trust, ask yourself, how can I love them, but not trust them? If someone has done something to you, whether it's a relationship, or friendship, or whatever, ask yourself this. If you lose the trust that you have in that person, and not willing to try to work on gain that back, then what happens to that love? On the other hand, if you never fully trusted that person, how can you say you really love them? It will only cause problems later on. I know some people feel this way because of being hurt in the past, and I know some people say, I trust them as far as I can. Throw them. And that ain't far. And what I say to that is, no real love can exist from that, because there's always going to be a brick wall in between you two. Lastly, on lessons on forgiveness, I think one of the most important things to remember is that this wasn't my fault, and that forgiving the person or people who hurt you isn't for them, but for myself. It releases you. I found myself smiling again when I least expected it. What are some or advice or lessons